Pilates, I don't take karate. I'm just running around with my shotty.
So, yeah, welcome, guys. Welcome to E3. Welcome to PlayStation's booth. That's quite a production we got going on here, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. So, Nate, let's ask you first. Why, when you decided to revisit Infamous Second Son, why did you decide to go to this direction? Why are we seeing Abigail's, Fetch's backstory? What drove you guys to go that direction?
Well, we really liked Fetch as a character. She's really exciting and kind of engaging. And by saying, hey, let's show her origin story. Let's show that arc of how she goes from the kind of the girl next door to that kind of murderous lady we all love from Second Son. It seemed like a fantastic self-contained story that we could offer people.
Cool. And this is a self-contained story. You don't need to have Infamous Second Son to get First Light, correct?
That's true.
True. Yeah,
cool.
Totally true.
Yeah, so Laura, how does it feel to be reprising the role of Fetch? I mean, you're in a starring role now. You're not playing second fiddle to Delsin. It's all about you now. What's it been like?
It was awesome. Fetch is such an amazing character. And so when Nate contacted me and let me know that I was going to get to come back and really explore where she came from, I was ecstatic to hear it because she had so much more to tell, And I think a lot of people really identified with her. I get a lot of messages from people that really dig Fetch. And she had a troubled past, and so it's really interesting to get to see all of that.
Yeah, she's a different character now. She was, a certain way in Second Son, but she's got kind of a different personality now. This is back. It seems a lot darker based on the trailer, which we're running here, which we saw. This is, if you played Second Son, you saw some of that backstory, and you know that Fetch comes from a pretty dark place.
That was one of the most important things that we wanted to showcase in this, was showing the difference in her personality from then to Second Son.
Yeah, okay. So now from a gameplay perspective, playing as Fetch, obviously, in Second Son, you had multiple powers you switched between. This one, all about neon. Fetch has her own distinct flavor of neon. Nate, can you tell me a little bit about how we'll be wielding that type of neon, Fetch's distinct powers?
Totally. So in Second Son, Delsin got the ability to drain neon, and he had some neon abilities. But Fetch's abilities, they're kind of raw. They are the base, the more powerful primal form of neon. And as a result, the moves are different. The gameplay's different. And mastering those powers is, I think, one of the big joys of the game. I mean, you played it. What did you think?
I really felt like Delsin, when he got neon, he adapted it to his fighting style.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a slower sort of laser attack and everything. But playing as Fetch, which I got to do, which was
straight from the source.
It's so much fun. She moves so much faster because, she's had it for forever. She knows how to showcase it.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, how does it affect traversal? Second Son, a major component of Second Son was being able to traverse Seattle and get around and have a lot of fun doing it. How do Fetch's powers play into that?
Oh, it's one of the chief joys of the game. In my mind, superheroes, that's the thing that defines them. Do they swing on a web or do they fly or whatever? So Fetch's abilities to use neon to get around town wicked fast is I love it. I'd love to tell you how it works, but I don't want to ruin it for you.
Okay. So we will be going back to Seattle in some capacity. There will be some Seattle stuff in there, but we're also visiting Curtin K, which is the facility that Fetch was, I guess, imprisoned in the backstory stuff we saw. What's Curtin K like? What kinds of environments will we be seeing?
Sunshine and rainbows, mostly.
Yeah, right. You can see right here. It's so pleasant. Curtin K is this very remote alpine prison for anyone with superpowers, and the Department of Unified Protection shoves them all in there to keep the normal people safe. And the game, part of it takes place in Curtin K, where I think everybody wanted to go in Second Son. We talk about it so much. It's kind of this character in and of itself, and we're really glad to have it be featured in this story.
Cool. Now, from a kind of a storytelling perspective, have you felt that you needed to shift gears to write, to put together this story in comparison to Second Son's story?
Oh, it's a pretty smooth continuation. So this is the prequel origin story, and character, it's Fetch, right?
Yeah.
Kind of lively and energetic, but you see what the world was like, you know, a few years before the DUP was in sort of full force like they are in Second Son itself. But I mean, it's a darker story. You certainly do some pretty grim things, and bad
that was
things
kind of
happen
one of
to
the
Fetch.
struggles as we were shooting it. One of the first things we thought about was how do you keep the lightness of Fetch while also exploring this darker story that she has to tell. And I think it really came across. I think we did a good job with it.
We did our best.
That's just me.
Yeah.
So, possibly my favorite part of Infamous Second Son came out after the game was released. It was photo mode. I do some photography on the side, so this was really a cool thing that you guys put in there. It spoke directly to me. I actually spent like 10 hours tinkering around in photo mode after it came out. For a week straight, I went home and that's all I did was take photos and all that. I understand photo mode returns in First Light. How do you think people are going to use that? What kinds of cool shots do you think people are going to be getting when this comes out?
Well, I was impressed by photo mode, how people really kind of got into the spirit of Delsin. So many of the photographs feature him just doing these really kind of expressive things with the chain, or just like a low shot of his shoes looking up. And so you kind of got a sense for the character that we, frankly, didn't have the chops to put in the game. I mean, it's really artistic and potent. So I can imagine that Fetch is going to get framed the same way, you know, that her spirit will be kind of on display through photo mode.
Yeah, she's a really cool looking character, the same way Delsin is. I mean, the character models in the game are just so incredibly rendered. I mean, when photo mode came out, I think people were expecting to go in there and say, oh, look at these textures, they're not quite. But no, they all look amazing.
It's gorgeous.
Delsin's being and everything, and I imagine Fetch's character model will look amazing as well.
It looks pretty cool.
Well, you know, the face is based on your own, Laura.
Oh.
In case you can't tell.
Cool, so Infamous First Light, when can we get our hands on Infamous First Light, and how do we do it?
It's coming out August 2014. That's right, and you can download it off the PlayStation Network. Am I right?
That's correct.
For $14.99. I know all these answers. Yeah, and I'm super excited to get to see it come out. I'm so stoked to be playing Fetch again.
Yeah. All right, well, Nate, Laura, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been fantastic. I can't wait to play Infamous First Light. Up next, we've got a little bit of news on Tom Clancy's The Division. Stay tuned.
The Division?
What?
I love The Division.
It's